If you've ever cried during a commercial, or teared up at a song, or felt embarrassed because it's not even that deep, this one's for you. Because what do you think is a weakness? Science calls it something else entirely. Look, let's just be honest. Crying gets a bad reputation. People act like tears mean you can't handle life, that you're too sensitive, too emotional, too much. But what if I told you that crying easily actually means your brain works differently, and not in a bad way? Your brain feels things differently. Here's the deal. Scientists conducted brain scans on individuals who cry easily compared to those who don't. And guess what they found? People who cry more have stronger connections between the parts of their brain that process emotions. Translation? When something sad happens, your brain doesn't just notice it and move on. It actually feels deeper. Process it more. It's as if your emotional radar is set higher than that of other people. You're not overreacting. Your brain is literally wired to feel more intensely. That's just how you're built. You actually feel what others feel. Here's where it gets interesting. People who cry easily usually have something called high empathy. Not just, I understand your sad empathy, but I actually feel your sadness like it's mine empathy. When you're watching a movie and someone's going through something painful, you're not just watching, you're experiencing it with them. Your brain is literally simulating their emotions in real time. That's why you cry at things other people shrug at. You're not being dramatic. You're genuinely feeling something they're not capable of feeling as deeply. And honestly, that's a superpower, not a flaw. Crying is actually healthy. Let's talk about what tears actually do. When you cry, your body releases stress hormones through your tears. Literally. Scientists found that emotional tears contain cortisol, the stress chemical. So when you cry, you're not breaking down. You're actually releasing built-up tension that other people are just keeping inside. People who don't cry aren't stronger. They're just storing that stress somewhere else. And trust me, it comes out eventually through anger, anxiety, or shutting down completely. You're processing emotions the way humans are supposed to. Everyone else is just bottling it up. It means you haven't shut down. Think about kids. They cry all the time, right? Then life happens. People tell them to toughen up. Stop being sensitive. Get over it. And slowly, they learn to shut off their emotions. By the time most people are adults, they've built walls so thick that nothing gets through anymore. But you? If you still cry easily, it means you never built those walls. You stayed open. You stayed soft. And in a world that constantly tells you to harden up, that takes guts. Tears actually bring people closer. Here's something nobody talks about. Crying builds connection. When you let someone see you cry, you're showing them the real you. No mask. No pretending. And you know what? That vulnerability permits other people to be real too. Studies show that people who are comfortable crying around others have deeper, more meaningful relationships. Because real connection doesn't happen when everyone's pretending to be fine. It happens when someone's brave enough to not be fine. And that someone is usually the person who cries. It means you're still feeling. In a world where everyone's numb, scrolling, distracting, avoiding, you're still feeling everything. You haven't checked out. You're still here, fully present, experiencing life in all its messy, painful, beautiful complexity. That's rare. That's valuable. That's human. People might call you sensitive, like it's an insult. But sensitivity is just another word for being alive, for being awake, for giving a damn. The difference between healthy and not. Now look, there's a difference. If you're crying constantly, like multiple times a day, uncontrollably, and it's messing with your life, that might be depression or anxiety talking. And that's worth checking out with someone professional. But if you cry during sad movies, when you're overwhelmed, when something really touches you, that's just being human. That's normal. That's healthy. Stop apologizing. Here's my challenge to you. Stop saying sorry for your tears. Stop warning people, I'm gonna cry sorry. Stop acting like your emotions are an inconvenience. Your tears aren't a problem to be fixed. They're not something to be embarrassed about. They're proof that you're still connected to your heart in a world that's constantly trying to disconnect you from it. If you cry easily, you're not weak. You're not broken. You're not too much. You're deeply feeling. You're emotionally honest. You're courageously vulnerable. And in a world that's becoming more disconnected every day, those aren't flaws. Those are strengths. So the next time someone makes you feel bad for crying, remember this. They're not stronger than you. They've just forgotten how to feel. And that's not something to aspire to. Your tears don't make you weak. They make you human. And that's the most powerful thing you can be. If this hit home for you, you're not alone. Stick around. We dive into the psychology of being human, the stuff nobody talks about but everyone feels. Because understanding why we are the way we are, that changes everything.